Okay.
Good morning, Phoenix. I am Ariel Butler.
And I'm Jeff Locke. And we are Student Broadcasting Network for innovation students by innovation students.
Last week, presidential candidate Ben Carson offended survivors of the Oregon College shooting. When asked what he would have done in the same situation, Carson said he would have rallied people to rush the shooter and disarm him, even at the expense of a few lives. Carson said he would not stand there and let him shoot me, which has angered survivors for being portrayed as cowardly. When asked if he would take the statement back, Carson did not apologize.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. This is a reminder that it is all of our responsibility to remind friends and family members to get checked routinely, to make sure to celebrate survivors this month and remember those we have lost. A good way to honor someone with breast cancer is to help raise money, to find a cure, make strides. Is organizing a 5K walk on October 24th at Soldier Field. Come on down. And join 3,000 Chicagoans to take a stand against cancer.
October is also Pit Bull Awareness Month. There is a lot of misleading information out there regarding pit bulls and their aggressiveness. Let's remember that pit bulls can be just as safe as other dogs if raised correctly. So do not judge a book by its cover and show a pit bull a little love this month.
A committee within the Florida's House of Legislation has approved a bill that will allow Floridians to openly carry handguns. Although the bill still has to pass through the House and the Senate, the idea of such a law is striking to fear and to many. The bill is sponsored by the state representative Matt Gaetz, who claims other states will open carry policies have lower crime rates. The law, if passed, would not apply to automatic weapons.
Historic rainfalls in South Carolina are to blame for some of the worst flooding conditions the state has ever seen. Not only were schools closed and events canceled, but the South Carolina Emergency Management Division closed 250 roads and 100 bridges. The floods were responsible for 17 fatalities. Senator Lindsey Graham said the cost of rebuilding will top $1 billion.
Good news, cartoon fans. Nickelodeon is now premiering The Splat, which will show some of our favorite cartoon shows from the 90s. Tune in to Teen Nick from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. for some favorite shows such as Rocket Power, Rugrats, and etc.
Now it's time for some Phoenix news. First, a few more after-school clubs to explore.
Good morning. This is Miss Armstrong, one of the staff sponsors of the book club, along with Miss Kucharski and Miss Schwartz. We meet on Thursdays from 2:15 to 3:15 in Miss Kucharski's room. I believe that's room 301. We have a lot of books lined up, so we'll be reading books, discussing the books, and if the book has a movie, we'll be watching that movie. We also look forward to doing different like arts and crafts activities, group activities, some fundraisers. So if you're interested in joining, you can either see me, Miss K, or Miss Schwartz, and we look forward to working with you.
My name is Kendall Bryant, and I am a member of the Innovations MCs Rap Club. What we do at my rap club is we made up of all of the rappers, singers, poets, and just a various selection of artists. So basically, we meet on Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays after school at 2:15.
Great, thank you.
Now let's take a look at the benefits of meditation with Christian Knight.
It all starts in the brain. During meditation, brain scans see increased activity in regions directly correlated with decreased anxiety and depression, along with increased pain tolerance. The default mode network, in particular, is activated when one's mind is at rest and not focusing on the outside world, and has been found to improve memory, self-awareness, and goal setting. When it wasn't enough, it also physically changes our brain shape and size. Studies found that after 8 weeks of a meditation program, gray matter was more dense in areas associated with learning, memory processing, and emotion regulation. And yet the amygdala, which deals with stress, blood pressure, and fear, had decreased gray matter.
Meditation is like, it's a good way to like calm yourself down, especially if you had like a stressful day. It's also good for like silencing your mind, because sometimes you can have a lot of thoughts and everything's a blur, everything's like scared. So like when I meditate, usually I just focus on my breathing, and that eliminates everything else.
You know, I wasn't lying in the song where I was like, life got me meditating. You know, I really be like getting my mind right before I get in the booth. When I meditate, man, I usually go somewhere super quiet, you know, where I'm just by myself. First of all, I close my eyes. I get real centered. You know, my mind be racing. I try and slow it down as much as I can. Concentrate on my breathing.
Also, when I meditate, I might think about a tree, think about the roots, and just thinking about it growing. And then like the representation of the tree is me. Like I'm growing as a person, and I'm also like branching out.
I visualize a beam of light flowing from the center of the earth to myself, you know what I'm saying? My whole body gets full of light. I feel my whole body up, you know, centered, you know, it goes straight up to the sky, way up in the sky. So then I'm like above all the madness, you know, metaphorically speaking. And I visualize all this just gold light, man, like throughout my whole body, and it makes me feel great, you know? You could call it crazy or whatever, but I can just tell you that it really affects how I feel.
When your third eye is basically your thinking process, and you're better to break down things like exactly step by step with no problem.
Thanks, Christian.
Students, we all know that there is a policy that innovation students may not go to stores in a 2-block radius.
Here is Jarvey with a look at the policy.
Why can't you guys go to stores around the school? You can go to stores around the school on Fridays.
So the reason students aren't allowed to go to stores around the school is that there has been problems in the past, and businesses have complained about students in the past. So because of that, we've taken away that privilege for students to visit school businesses within 2 blocks. We do allow students to do that Fridays after school as a privilege, as long as there isn't issues. That will continue, but before school and after school, they're not allowed to visit businesses.
The reason for that is so that students are a further away distance from the school, whereas they no longer will be considered in school scope. It's a precaution and also a protection for the school and the students. The reason why we say no Monday through Thursday is so that it lessens the opportunity or the chance for an issue to take place down here that could possibly put the school in a bad light and or the student and or cause the student to be reprimanded.
If students are more than 2 blocks away, there's fewer crowds of students, and students can visit those businesses. We haven't had any complaints from anyone further than 2 blocks away, so that's the reason.
The thing about that, believe it or not, most of the vendors, most of the stores, they know who our students are, even without their uniform on. So even if you change out of the uniform, you're still a phoenix.
Businesses, the problem still exists that there's a lot of students going into a business, or businesses can still sometimes recognize our students, especially 7-Eleven and Dunkin' Donuts, because students have been in there a lot, so they still do know our students.
I I feel like that is unfair and they shouldn't have a say so on what stores we can go to after school.
Like, we should be able to go to the store. Like, this is our right. Like, that is not your property. Like, this is your property. Like, this is our property. Like, is you serious?
Thanks, Jarvey. Now let's check in with me. Man, hold on. Have you heard this guy talk?
No.
He's a very good guy. He's a handsome, devilish guy. You know what I'm saying? He does the little celebrity birthday weeks in the morning, you know, on Mondays.
Never seen him.
Never seen them?
No.
Well, pay attention. You might learn something or two from this guy. Happy birthday, Tisha Campbell. Born October 13th, 1968. Campbell is an African-American actress, singer. She is known for her starring roles in the Fox television series Martin as Gina Walter Payne from 1992 to 1997, and as Janet J. Johnson Kyle on the ABC television show sitcom My Wife and Kids from 2001 to 2005. Campbell was born in Oklahoma City and raised in Newark, New Jersey, where she attended Newark Arts High School. Campbell's first TV appearance was at the age of 6 in the 1974 episode of PBS show The Blue Clue Marble. As a child, she won many talent shows, going on to appear in such children programs as Kids Are People Too, Unicorn Tales, and Captain Kangaroo. Campbell made guest appearances on the television series Everybody Hates Chris, My Wife and Kids, and Martin. On August 17, 1996, she married an actor, now real estate developer, Dwayne Martin. Together they have 2 sons. Just want to say, happy birthday, Tisha. You go, girl.
Well, that's our show. Thanks for watching the Student Broadcasting Network. I'm Ariel Butler.
And I'm Jeff Locks. See you next time, Phoenix.
Good morning, Phoenix. I am Ariel Butler.
And I'm Jeff Locke. Oh, my bad.
All right.
Okay, sorry.
Now let's take a look at the benefits of meditation with Christian Knight.
I'll put say that, but.
Oops.
A committee was in Florida House of Legislation. Legislation.
Thanks, Christian.
Students, we will all know that 3 is the policy. There, I'm tripping. Legislation.
Legislation.
You go. Got it. Go for it.
Well, that's our show. Thank you for watching the Student Broadcasting Network. I'm Ariel Butler.
My bad.
What just happened to you? What just happened?
Tweet. Come on, let's do it again.
All right.
House of Legislation. Legislation. Legislation.
Oh my God. All right, just say legislation.
Legislation.
Go for it.
The committee was in Florida's House of We gotta do a voiceover.